City Council. I do need a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Yvonne Johnson, moved by Mr. Matheny, seconded by Mrs. Abuzawaiter. All in favor say aye. Aye. Mr. Holston and Mrs. Hightower are on their way in. We are here for one matter only. Mrs. Abuzawaiter?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the City Council adjourn to a closed session to consider the qualifications, competence, performance, character, and fitness of a prospective public officer, and to establish the amount of compensation and other material terms of a proposed employment contract.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Mrs. Thurm. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And we do not anticipate that there will be any announcement when we adjourn.
Litter has become an eyesore in Greensboro. Let's take pride in our city and do our part to keep our roads and streams litter-free. Keep the green clean.
They don't want to buy a pressure washer. They only need it once. There it is.
How would you like to see this program grow?
Well, I'd like to see it expand as far as the list of tools that we have available. What we have now is pretty basic, but I'd like to see what we have grow, and ultimately it would be nice to have brick and mortar, just a fixed location where we have a place where people come inside, a place for us to do maintenance, that would be nice.
How does it make you feel to be a part of this program?
I really enjoy and it's been frustrating when you find a customer who doesn't have access to something and you wish that you could not just serve the notice of violation, hey, your grass is really tall, you have to do something, but if they don't have the money to do it, it's nice to have that option.
You're offering solutions.
Trying. That feels really good.
Want to find out more or check out a tool? Go to greensboro-nc.gov/toolbox. Welcome inside the brand new Claxton Elementary School, one of 5 brand new Guilford County schools set to open this school year. As you can see, there are so many upgrades with this new school, including all of this flexible seatings that teachers can move and shape to what works best for their classroom, technology, whiteboards on every wall, and so much light from the windows to the glass doors, which allows students and teachers to grow and flex to the needs that they have every day in the classroom. What do you think about this new school?
It looks amazing. It's really big, and I feel like this is a college.
Do you think it's going to be easier to learn here?
Yeah, of course. With so many more rooms, it's not going to be as crowded as the last school.
Girls, what do you think about your new school?
It's amazing. Definitely, I love it. I'm just speechless. This is amazing.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to about coming to school here?
The chairs. The chairs, and last time we were in like a big janitor's closet. It was so tiny, so I'm excited for a big room. I'm just really excited about everything. Like, this school is huge, and I'm so excited.
Liam, what do you think about this brand new school?
Awesome. I'm only going to be at the school for 1 year, but I'm excited about it.
All right, Principal Toma, how do you feel with this new school opening at last?
Oh, this is amazing. I mean, look around, all the colors, the smiles on these kids' faces. That's what it's all about.
So tell us about some of the features of this new school.
There's extended learning areas where kids are going to have opportunities with flexible seating to work collaborative groups, problem solving. We've got makerspace in the media center. Our classrooms are open. We've got flexible seating throughout the whole building. Movable furniture. Just the opportunities this is going to provide our students is going to be amazing.
There's so much light here. There's windows, there's lots of glass doors, and you can just see so far and kind of in all the spaces.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a bright environment, a welcoming environment. And the visibility it's going to provide our teachers to be able to visually see our students, to make sure that we keep them safe, and allow them to be able to use this whole building as a learning environment.
And we're standing in a gym, which you didn't have before.
A gym that we never had. Our PE teacher's going to be amazed, and our students are thrilled with it. They no longer have to walk downstairs into a little room for gym or have it outside. They've got this amazing space that they're going to be able to participate in.
Well, and this is, of course, an exciting time for the Claxton community, but really for all of Guilford County, because this was the first school to open from what became a $2 billion bond that is supporting our schools. What is it like to be at the beginning of that?
I think it's great for us, great for our community, but great for Guilford County and in the direction that they're headed, and what the schools that are going to be built under this bond is going to do for all of Guilford County and all of the students.
The new Claxton Elementary was made possible because of 2 bonds equaling $2 billion for Guilford County schools. You can keep up with the progress of all the bond projects by going to gcsnc.com. You're probably familiar with the Discovery House at the Greensboro Science Center. Well, it's going to be going away soon, but don't fret. Something bigger and better is coming. It's a biodome, and it's going to house some amazing plants and animals. Jessica, we're sitting in front of some plants we haven't seen around here much.
No, this is actually, we're starting to stockpile some of our more tropical plants. So this is just the beginning phases of our biodome, which is going to be a more tropical oasis. So we have to start collecting our tropical plants.
Okay, so tell us about this biodome. Where's it going to be? What's going to be in it? You know, what's the point?
Well, the point is we just want to bring a new, exciting, never seen before exhibit to the Science Center. So our biodome concept is our latest foray into that. And it's potentially going to be our biggest, most impressive build yet. So it's going to be an entire indoor tropical oasis. And we're going to have about 6, maybe 7 kind of exhibits within that that are going to be different species and things that we're still working through. And then in the open public space, we're also going to have free-flying birds. We're going to maybe have some bats, and then we're going to have a sloth, maybe more.
The sloth, or a sloth, is already here at the Greensboro Science Center. You can already visit with her, right?
Yes, we can. So we've kind of joked that it actually takes a long time to get a sloth. So, I mean, like, they're slow for everything. So we actually had already been on a wait list trying to get one actually for the last 3 years, because we had wanted to have one originally in our aquarium space. And so we finally got the one that was placed for us, and so we weren't going to turn it down and wait at this point. So we're like, we're going to take it, we're ready, and then we'll just move her to the biodome when that's ready.
Her name is Indy, and she came from not too far away.
Nope. So she was born at the Brevard Zoo, and she's just a little bit over 2 years old, so she's still young, and hopefully will be with us a long time.
Okay, and we get to see her eating sometimes, and she moves a little bit quicker than people might think she would move.
They can. When they decide to get up and be active, she's actually really curious. She likes to explore her environment. We know that they do go swimming. We haven't seen that with her particularly, but when we've had other sloths in other places, you'll see them wet. Like, they do enjoy swimming, so they go down on the ground. They can do some really interesting things.
What's most interesting to you about the sloth?
Probably just their whole system for eating. They have a really weird, metabolism. It's really slow, so how we process foods and eat, is so different for them. And they eat really interesting things. So they're just very almost prehistoric in a way. They're very ancient with some of their biological systems.
And very beautiful. She's a two-toed sloth, is that right?
Yep.
And there are also three-toed sloths. Can you tell us the difference other than the toes?
That's the big one. Yeah. is the two-toed. Similarly, they're body-wise they look pretty similar. I do believe the lines, which is the two-toed, is bigger, a little bit more robust than three-toeds are also called Hoffmans, which my last name. I didn't get the Hoffmans, but so I think body size is another indicator.
They have those faces that just draw you in. I mean, they really do. It's just the personality all over them.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And she's got such an engaging personality already, so we're really excited. We do hope to have sloth encounter programs when we do have the biodome set up. We're going to build to have it be really public friendly, and so she's going to be a great candidate for that when we're ready to go with those programs.
Oh, we can tell by just watching her eat for sure. And you can see her right now in the aquarium space at the Greensboro Science Center.
So we have our original Amazon exhibit that is in the aquarium that was part of our original build. We do hope to move basically that entire kind of exhibit. We're building this big new tropical oasis. Of course we want to put Amazon in there. So we hope to actually move all of those animals into that new space. And so she would definitely be a part of that. But it was just a perfect natural exhibit for her to live in right now. So she's with our TT monkeys and our tamarins and our Amazon fish and our freshwater rays. So it's a really nice space for her to kind of hang out for a couple of years.
Yeah, to get used to things, to get the lay of the land, and she'll be like the old mom when everybody else comes into the new biodome. So we're gonna we can hear a little bit of construction happening and moving. We're gonna, as we visit the Science Center, we're gonna see dirt moving, things coming down, things going up. Can you tell us where we should look out and where we can watch it grow?
So if you're familiar with our outside zoo, as soon as you come out the doors that are take you right into the entrance to the zoo, there's that plaza. Really starting from that entry plaza and then working your way to the right where It was our building called Discovery House, where we had small animals. That's the whole site that's going to be demolished for the new biodome build. So we've already made some movements. Our Nile crocodile, we actually already had to move out because it's going to impact the exhibit that was his. So that's going to get displaced pretty soon, but then we're going to start doing demolition throughout there. We're going to put up construction fences. We're going to start moving dirt, and we're going to start building.
And when do we think this might be a place to visit? I know the million-dollar question.
That is the million-dollar question. I think realistically we're looking at, kind of from this point right now, about a 2-year build maybe. So that's sort of, ideally sooner the better, but probably getting really into starting demolition and construction maybe at the very start of next year.
There is always something new to see at the Greensboro Science Center. You can visit Indy 7 days a week at the Greensboro Science Center. Find out more by going to greensboroscience.org. The Greensboro Fire Department has a brand new tool to help educate children and adults about fire safety. The Greensboro Fire Safety Trailer is on the road now, thanks to committed city staffers and a generous community partner. Sharon Maney is the past president of the Kiwanis Club of Greensboro. How did the club get involved with this city and this particular gift?
So Kiwanis of Greensboro, our mission is to support children, one community and one child at a time. And our club typically likes to help children who are hungry. So this was brought to our attention for the need to educate children how to cook and how to feed themselves and how to prevent fires. So we were thrilled to be able to have that opportunity to engage and be involved.
So, of course, you've been involved with the project from the very beginning. To see it actually here in person, actually getting ready to go out to schools and to community centers and to really go to the children, what is it like?
For me personally, it sort of closes that gap and that loop, but it's also very touching to know that, to hear the chief today to say 75% of fires with children start in the kitchen, and to know that when you're thinking about hungry children and trying to cook, the fact that we could do something not only to help feed them, but to help prevent them from getting an accident, it's just powerful. It's incredibly powerful.
And have you been able to tour it yet?
Not yet, but I'm on my way.
We're going to start today with a demonstration on severe weather. Here in our new safety trailer, we can demonstrate an earthquake, a flash flood, a hurricane, or a tornado. We definitely would warn folks that if they have any children with sensory issues or who may get scared, that this does get very, very loud. We have a subwoofer in here that goes up to about 80 decibels. We will simulate thunder and lightning, but I can stop it at any time.
This includes the city of Apalachicola, Somerville County, the Panhandle of Florida. This includes the city of North Ridgeville. That's 6:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:50 p.m. ET, National Weather Service non-radar indicated a developing tornado near North Ridgeville, moving east at 20 miles per hour. The tornado.
You think there's a fire outside? See the smoke coming through? What we want you to do is feel the back of the door, and if it's warm, well, it is warm. And we wouldn't want you to open the door, right? We keep that door closed, and we could get something in the room. Do you see anything in the room where we could block that smoke?
Pillow
Or the towel, right? So we could get the pillow or the towel and cover that up. Cover that up to stop that smoke from coming in. Oh, look, we got more fire. I think. I pressed it. Make sure button. Call 911. We can practice calling 911. And do you know your address?
I do.
A lot of kids don't know their address, so we work on that. And then we call 911 and we go to the window and wait for the firefighters to come, and we can outspeed through the window.
Welcome once again to the Greensboro Fire and Life Safety Trailer. We're going to demonstrate our kitchen fire now, being the #1 cause of home fires, not only in Greensboro, the whole state, but the entire country. So a lot of times people will leave the kitchen, they'll not be paying attention to what they're doing, and that's when most culinary mishaps, as we call them, will occur. So we're going to start by turning on our fire on the top of the stove. We'll turn on our burner. You'll start to hear it's making a little bit of a hissing sound as if it were a gas oven. We'll We'll start our fire on the top. We'll begin to emit smoke. I can also start a fire inside the oven. That will start to go. We have working smoke alarms here in our safety trailer, and they have turned on. We have a heating source up above us that will simulate that it's getting hotter and hotter in the kitchen area. Now we're at a point where it's either time to get out, or if we have a person that has the ability and the comfort level of using an in-home fire extinguisher, they can attempt to put the fire out themselves. We would recommend probably a 5-pound ABC rated extinguisher. That's for common combustibles. We always want folks to remember the acronym of PASS, which is pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Pull the pin out of it, aim it at the base of the fire, squeeze the trigger, and sweep it around. So we're getting to the point where it's getting pretty hot in here. Are we able to put this fire out? I think we have a volunteer here that wants to help us. You can just aim it at that fire. It's going to emit a green dot, and it'll put it out. So you're taking care of that fire. You can go ahead and try to put it off down there. But our number one suggestion to everyone if they have a fire inside of their oven is to close the door. Try to keep the heat in there and prevent the fire from spreading even more. One of the great things is I can also stop the fire demonstrations at any time if for some reason it's gotten too hot for someone or we're getting a little bit of smoke in here. We do have a fan that will take the smoke out, but that's a simple demonstration on a stovetop cooking fire. Of course, if you don't have an extinguisher around, the number one thing that people can do is simply put a lid on top of the pan. Take the air away from it. We can simulate a fire over here in our trash can. We can simulate a fire up in our cabinet. And it's the same thing. If you aim the extinguisher at it, you can put the fire out. There we go. As we take a look at electrical hazards throughout the home, in our bedroom fire, we do have the door can get smoked up. We can also have an outlet that will smoke, and there is also an air conditioner. And the biggest thing with any electrical appliance is simply unplugging. This toaster was used a little bit earlier. We'll plug it in. Somebody else knew that there was a problem with it. I plugged it back in and started to use it, and it's smoking. So the number one thing you do is unplug it right away and take away that power source from it, because that's going to solve most of your problems. The microwave as well. We can get to start to spark and everything like that. Sometimes people may put aluminum foil in there by mistake, or they have an electrical short. Again, simply unplug it. Again, our working smoke alarms are going off that we have here in our safety trailer, and hopefully everyone in the city of Greensboro and surrounding areas has those working smoke alarms as well, and they know that they're not expired because they are manufactured within the last 10 years. So let's smoke it up real high. Let's do everything. Give it a little bit of time. Let's really let it get warm in here, really let the smoke start up. And even so, we could turn the interior light off. Let's turn that light off.
Oh,
okay.
My God. Oh, that's amazing.
Let's give it a little more time. Let's let it get good and smoked up. Now, as you watch this start to grow, obviously this smoke is fake, but you have 2 minutes or less to get out of your residential dwelling in the event of a fire. So smoke is going to start to bank down closer to the ground. We tell people as soon as the fire strikes, you need to get out and stay out, because that smoke is going to get to where you're no longer going to be able to breathe. If this were real smoke making its way towards us, we've had this on for probably 45 to 60 seconds. If you were to go up into there, you would probably be overcome by the smoke and not able to get out. So this is getting to where it's a little bit too big for us, but for this scenario, we'll go ahead and let you put it out. We think we can handle it from back here. So our trash can is going out, our cabinetry is going out, we have the stovetop fire, and we'll go ahead and kill that fire in the oven. And you can see everything is heated up top here to get that simulation of the heat that is starting to rise into the ceiling from something burning. Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
This is the future.
And if y'all really want to be scared, look down at the outlet. Turn the kitchen light on.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks to Councilwoman Abuzawader, we escaped that kitchen fire, and we all learned a whole lot about fire safety. Again, look for the fire safety trailer on the roads, going to community celebrations, to schools, and all kinds of groups to help educate children and adults about fire safety. Greensboro is home to the Carolina Cowboys, the only professional team to call Greensboro home, and you're going to want to get to know these athletes. All right, Coach, tell us about this team.
I'm pretty excited. We got a really awesome team with Richard Childress being the owner and Austin Dillon being the general manager, and just blessed to be the coach of it. I mean, we got a really good team. We got a lot of world champions on our team. We got Sage Kimsey, PRCA world champion many times over, and we got 2 world champions with Cooper Davis and Dalen Swearingen in the PBR, and just a lot of good guys, a lot of national finals average winners. So our team that we got together is as strong as any team out there. If we can keep them healthy, we got a good chance to win it all.
What's it like for you personally to coach these young athletes?
You know, when I got hurt 20-some years ago, I stayed in the sport hauling these bulls up and down the road, and it's all I've ever done. But when this whole team concept come around and they asked me if I'd be interested in it, it kind of put a new fire under me. It's something new, and it's exciting to see our sport grow and how fans are taking to it. I've been in this sport a long time, but I've never seen fans draw to a sport the way they did with this PBR teams.
That is a lot of fun. And what does it mean to be part of a team? I mean, this has always been an individual sport. It was an individual sport when you did it those years ago. So how does the sport change now that there are teams?
You know what's crazy? That exactly what you're saying. We was in Ridgedale, Missouri last week at Johnny Morris's place, but the guys trying to help each other. We used to see some of that, but now that everybody's on a team, it's unbelievable. Like, everybody tells their little secrets, you might say, and you just watch them guys pull together and try to make this team better. At the end of the day, it's just really awesome to watch it all come together.
All right, is there something special we should look for when we're watching? For those who are new to the sport, to really get the most out of it, what should you be looking for when you're watching?
Well, at the end of the day, what I always tell my guys, if you can see him, you can ride him. And what that means is when you put your hand in that bull rope, if you stay focused and stay looking at the middle the whole time and just keep trying your butt off, at the end of the day you can get the whistle. But if you see that guy look off and look at that ground, you won't see that Carolina Cowboy the next day. Let me put it that way.
Keep up with Mayor Greensboro and all the Carolina Cowboys. Follow them online and check out The Ride. It is showing now on Amazon Prime, and it follows the real life story of the Carolina Cowboys. A public-private partnership means 84 new apartments are available in Southeast Greensboro, all at an affordable price. Dolores, you've been here for 9 months. What brought you to Greensboro?
Well, when I got sick after I had a stroke, and then my cousin brought me here.
And you said you're so glad you stayed in Greensboro.
Yes, I'm so glad I stayed in Greensboro because now I have my own place.
So tell us about your new place. How did you hear about it, and how did you come to be here?
Well, Vanessa is a social worker. Lois's place is going up. She said, come on, go with me. And she found my place, and oh, God, it's been heaven ever since.
Tell us about your place. What is it like? Describe it to us.
Well, I have a 1-bedroom, 1 bath, and a large kitchen, and a dining room, and a living room. Me and my kitchen, we're in love, in my bedroom.
You are now living on your own. You had been living with your children and your cousins. So what is it like to be in your own space, to have your own place, to have some quiet time to yourself?
Ooh, honey. It died. Oh, my. And I like to think this housing development, oh God, it's been heaven sent to me. I don't want to cry. Oh.
What should people know about the affordability of housing and how difficult it is to find housing that's affordable and safe and comfortable and nice, and why that needs to be more available?
Well, it's very important for this housing development to have the things they have, because they don't charge a deposit, and that's a blessing. And you know, you just pay your rent. You know, you cannot find nothing like this, not in South Carolina neither. You know, you cannot find this. This is a godsend.
Tracy, how did this community actually come to happen?
Well, we work all over North Carolina, and we look for opportunities to build affordable housing. And right now there's a big need really across the whole state, but especially in our metro areas like Greensboro. So we started looking for sites, and we found one that met all of the NCHFA criteria. And then we started working with the local planning to find out about the zoning, and we determined that this would be a good place for family units for 1, 2, and 3 bedroom.
How has it been working with the city? You've done this in other places, you said, and you have different experiences every time you go into a new city, and you have to relearn their process. How has it been specifically here?
I love working with the City of Greensboro. It has been a great experience. All of the staff have been very helpful, from the Community Development and Housing Department, the Planning Department, the City Council members, meeting with some of the community organizations. They've all been very helpful, and I'm doing another development because of that, because I like working here in Greensboro. I have another one that's going to be across the street for seniors 52 and older. For a metro city, it has been a very easy process from my experience, because we've done things, you know, in Raleigh and Charlotte, and Greensboro has been very helpful.
We hear so much about the need for affordable housing. People talk about wanting it. Where is the disconnect to actually making it happen, and how do we do more of that?
One thing is zoning. Sometimes it's very difficult to get a piece of property rezoned for multifamily. A lot of people fear that it's going to be something that it's not. They think it's going, and there's a lot of NIMBYism, not in my backyard. And people will say, we don't want this. We've had this happen so many times, and then once we build it, they're all like, we're sorry we said that. You know, this turned out right. You did do what you said you were going to do. And that's one thing that, you know, Councilwoman Hightower did, because she got involved and connected me with some of the community leaders. And so that was helpful in getting things approved. And the other thing is funding. I know that the city, a lot of cities are doing bond referendums to help with housing, and that's something that we really need, because to do this and to keep the rents affordable, we have to have that contribution from the city, either in home funds or housing trust funds. Those are really critical right now, especially with inflation and the cost of construction, the interest rates, construction interest rates. I mean, we really have to have it now more than ever.
When you meet people like Dolores and hear their stories, how does it make you feel?
Well, she really brought me to tears. I mean, that is really, truly why I do what I'm doing. I mean, because it gets tough. I mean, there are times when I'm like, why am I fighting this battle? But really, I'm speaking up for the people who don't have a voice, because a lot of those people, they're not in the city council meetings. They're not, you know, the ones that understand how to get the money from the city and how to make this happen. And so every day I remind myself of that. And I think about, you know, the single mothers and families who are just getting started, or people going through hard times and who just need a break. And that's why I keep doing what I do.
The Lofts at Elmsley Crossing is just the first of this kind of project in this neighborhood. A second project is going to be breaking ground soon across the street, meant for Greensboro seniors. Green Hill is Greensboro's oldest actively used cemetery. Established around 1877, many were buried here before that date. And many of the gravestones here have fallen into disrepair due to neglect and due to environmental factors. But a group that calls themselves the Billies is doing something about it.
And so this is little Hazel. She's been gone for over 100 years now.
Hazel is one of thousands who found their final resting place at Green Hill.
Her stone is called Cradle Grave. It's meant to be like a garden box.
Loving family likely tended her grave for years, but time took a toll.
When we first started working on her stone, it was almost completely submerged.
Each step over the historic lawns and paths reveals another life lived and lost. And you don't have to look hard to find signs of age and neglect on the once shining memorials.
As a neighbor who walks in here a lot, I started walking around and looking around and going, God, all these gravestones are starting to fall over and look really, really bad.
Crumbling stones, names fading from markers, Mother Nature overtaking family shrines. It nagged David Kraft.
So I started doing some research, went to one class in Statesville at a historic cemetery.
And he found others with a passion for preservation.
I met Sherry at the class, and she comes and now helps us volunteer. And our neighbor over in Dunley, Jeff, comes, and Janice, who I know from the Farmers Curb Market, comes, and Mallory, who I met on the tour that I give here, wanted to know more, so now she comes.
They got permission from the city to do some basic repairs in the cemetery, straightening up, as he calls it, raising sunken stones, leveling them and stabilizing them so that they may still be standing hundreds of years from now.
The moisture has definitely soaked into any marble or stone, and so we want to expose it, leave it exposed, let it dry out, and then move it. Do not move it immediately and risk cracking or any further damage, because these guys are they're stone, but they're still relatively sensitive. It's been a while, so she's nice and dry, and we are going to take out her base.
Maybe just up just a hair, and then we'll let it sit back. Yeah, all right.
Unfortunately, we can't reattach her to her base yet, the stone, but we will at least put some gravel and stuff underneath to just kind of keep her level, hopefully keep runoff from going back over the stone. Put more rock over here, you think? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. And have it nice and clean and pretty for more generations to know who Hattie was.
Names in stone, thousands of them.
I know of a lot of the people in the cemetery. I know a lot of the names. We look things up, and I go, well, I bet that's so-and-so's, great-grandparents. The names like the Sapps and the Cartlands and, people that were friends with my parents, their relations are in here.
This work is personal for the Billies, as they call themselves, and not just because of the people who lie here.
Billies refers to my dad, Bill Kraft, who kind of started all the work in here 25 years ago, planting the trees that has become this arboretum. As I got older, I wanted to keep some of his things going and also kind of do my own thing, but I wanted to make a point of getting other people involved, because if I get 5 people involved, we can do 5 times as much, which makes me feel really good.
Fresh gravel and sparkling marble are signs of the Billies' work inside these historic gates. They catalog their works in an online database, findagrave.com.
We come back and we'll attach a picture and some commentary about what we did, and we're hoping to start hearing from family members maybe at some point.
Each Billy knows the importance of family. It's why they ignore the sweat and soreness that comes with the work.
She's the only one, I think, of her family that's here that I could find. So I just felt a little sentimental, wanted to make sure she had some love over here.
What might Hazel's family think to see the love with which her grave has been cared for by these strangers turned friends, volunteers, conservators, historians, Billies?
When we first started working on her stone, it was almost completely submerged, all the cradle grave features. So we kind of brought them up. They're in pieces, but they're all there. And we've planted some lilies that will not bloom until about August, so come back and see that.
The Billies are always looking for more caring volunteers to join the group. You can find them online. Go to the Friends of Green Hill Cemetery webpage. You can also find them on Facebook at Greater Greensboro Cemeteries and on Instagram at Green Hill Billies. Swim team, lap swimming, big splash, little splash contest, probably a little basketball. Those are things you're used to seeing at any neighborhood pool, but Friendly Pool often has something a little extra special happening. Synchronized swimming. Erin, how did you get started in synchronized swimming?
Oh gosh, I lived in New Jersey and it was a really big sport up there. So I was on the Westfield Aqua Sprites. And we moved here when I was 13, and so that was the end of my synchronized swimming career.
Because it wasn't here.
It was not here.
So when did you decide to bring it here?
I started working here in 1981, so I'm going to say maybe 1982 or 83. The first year I had 2 little groups, and then the next year I had several. I mean, we have 7 groups this year. Sometimes we have 8.
What are the basic skills you need to be able to start to learn the sport?
Well, the main thing is you have to be able to swim, and you can't be afraid of the deep end because they don't get to touch the bottom. And gymnastics or dance is helpful. You have to be flexible, you have to be strong, you have to hold your breath, and you have to be cooperative because it's a team sport.
So what are some of the moves? Can you kind of describe some of the things that we might see or that we should look for in synchronized swimming?
Well, like if you're watching the artistic swimming in the Olympics, you'll see they're underwater a lot and their legs are out of the air. So a basic thing would be with your leg coming out of the water, and that's a ballet leg. And you're flat on the ground, and then anything in a vertical with splits and spins. And
you have to build up your endurance, your cardiovascular system.
Absolutely.
What do you love about this sport?
I think I like that it's a sport. It's strength, but it's also artistic.
It's a challenging, a true sport. And what do you love about teaching others to do it, passing along these skills and this joy?
Well, I think it's unique to Friendly Pool, and so many of these girls, I mean, this is what they like. They get all glammed up on Labor Day, and they feel like little princesses.
So on Labor Day, there's a big show.
It's a show. And this year's theme is TV theme songs.
What has it taught you that has translated outside of the pool? I mean, not only synchronized swimming, but swimming in general, because this has been so much a part of who you are.
Well, I think all sports teach you discipline, teach you commitment, working together, cooperating with your teammates, and listening to the person who's coaching you.
Ella, why did you want to do synchronized swimming?
Well, my dad signed me up, and I know my mom used to do it, and he just thought it was something I enjoy, and he was right.
What do you like about it?
I like all the friends and doing all the tricks and learning new stuff.
Do you have a favorite trick?
Probably a barracuda.
Will you show us?
Yeah.
Good job. Rayleigh, why did you want to come and do synchronized swimming?
Because it's fun and I get to see all my friends and I love performing.
What is the hardest thing about it?
Probably having to stay up and go high in your moves.
Do you have a favorite move in the water?
I like the lifts more, like where you go higher up.
What do you hope to do with this sport?
I don't know. Just have fun with it and get as good as I can.
Is it kind of fun to be working with the big girls too?
Yeah.
Sophia, first, how long have you been doing synchronized swimming?
I've been doing it since I was really little, maybe about 6 years old. I took a few breaks here and there, but I've been doing it since then, and I really enjoy it.
What made you start?
I think my older sister did it, and I always just saw the girls here, and I thought they were really cool, just doing their little flips and twists and all that. And I started it, and I've loved it ever since.
What about you, Ashley?
I started, I think, when I was 12. I was a little late. I did it with a group of my friends, and I just loved it, and so I've been doing it ever since.
What do you love about this sport?
I love that about any age group can do it. I think the girls, I love seeing the little girls start. You start simple, and I like to see them grow and see them, groups switch and all their songs, and I think it's really cool to see that.
What about you, Ashley?
Same. I just love being in the water and having fun in it and doing cool stunts and swimming. It's just amazing to see all the people come together and put on this incredible show at the end of the year. So.
And what do you hope comes out of this? Do you want to keep doing it? Do you want to do more? Do you want to grow in this sport?
I definitely have done it for a while, and I'm 19, so I'm getting older in the group. But I definitely want to do it as long as I can. Obviously, life brings different things, but I'll always, even if I'm not doing it, the shows, I'll always come in the pool and just for fun, just do little stunts and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I want to keep doing it as long as I can, hopefully as long as Sophia is. And someday I want to really help the little girls who are coming up and do routines with them and help coach like Kate is doing. She's doing an amazing job. She did it for so long, and now she's coaching. So it's really cool to see us grow in this program that Coach Aaron started.
Do you have a favorite move?
I like the harder stuff, when we do lifts, we're doing a lift in one of our routines, and I like going, doing those kind of things and twists and turns, but yes.
How about you, Ashley?
I love doing the gaviota. I don't quite know how to describe it, but it's this cool twisty move, and you do a split, and then you walk out of it, and it's really fun.
Synchronized swimming has been happening at Friendly Park Pool for many years and always stayed true to some core principles of teamwork, sportsmanship, and fun. You can find out more about it by visiting friendlypark.com or reaching out to Friendly Park Pool. When is chaos a good thing? When it's women's professional basketball. And Greensboro is home to a women's professional basketball team, the Chaos. Shatrina Smalls is the founder, owner, and head coach of the Greensboro Chaos. All right, tell me your story. I know you played ball as a little girl, like lots of sports though, right?
Yes. I played a lot of sports. I started playing basketball around 10, and I just fell in love with the sport and knew it was something that had to be a part of my life for the rest of my life.
So you played ball in college, but then you got hurt.
Yes, I had a shoulder injury, and because of the shoulder injury, that kind of messed up my playing career. And around 22 years old, I picked up coaching.
Yeah, so, and actually, you said a coach actually saw the coaching ability in you before you had any idea that would be your path.
Yes, my head coach, Rodney Copeland, rest in peace, he used to tell me, you see the game much differently than regular basketball players, and you're going to be a much better coach one day than you are a basketball player. So he's seen something in me before I even knew it existed.
Fast forward, you're here in Greensboro working for the city, and some friends say, you should think about bringing professional women's basketball to Greensboro. And you thought,
you all are crazy. How am I going to start it? Because I don't have any money, right? But they persisted, and they continually asked me, and I seen that they wanted it, and I knew that I can do it. So I took a leap of faith and started a team.
So you started in 2019, and how did you do with that?
So I had to establish a name and work up a logo, and then Amber Cook, who's one of our players and captain, she's from Greensboro, so she has a lot of connection with different women players. And she began to reach out to different people. I began to reach out to other resources. 2019,
you got the team together, you got all this funding, you started, and then you couldn't even play a single game because of the pandemic.
It was a big surprise, but it gave us the opportunity to integrate ourselves into the community. It gave us an opportunity to give back with a toy and coat drive, donations to the IRC, and just really get our footing before we jumped out there and had our first season.
You did get to have a first season a year later and actually get on the court. What was the community response to seeing the team and these athletes, these female athletes?
The community response was much greater than what I thought. I thought maybe we'll have like 10 fans in the stand, but people showed up. We had season pass holders. Our first year out, never even seeing the ladies play, but we had people who just supported us off a blind faith, and we had a great turnout our first season, and ever since then some of the fan base has followed us since then for the last 3 seasons, and it's much bigger than what I've ever would have thought that we would have.
Explain what it means to have a women's professional sports team in Greensboro, this size city.
It's beyond what I could imagine or even words that I can think of, just because I never thought I would be in this position. So it's much greater than my wildest dream, right? And then to do it in a city that I'm not necessarily from. I'm from New York and New Jersey, and to be able to come down here and fall in love with the city of Greensboro and say, this is where I want to plant roots, and this is where the Chaos is going to plant roots at. It's much bigger than what I ever would have thought.
This is really bigger than basketball for you.
It is. our saying with the team is more than basketball. So we have a charitable branch called Chaos Cares. It's about giving back, making sure that our players have a home. It's about making sure the young ladies who come to the games and watch us play know that they can do it. Internship opportunities, coaching opportunities, opportunities behind the scenes. We like to just give back.
Young fans, little girls who are watching the team, what do you want them to get out of this?
I want them to get that anything is possible. I tell my players on the court, you could be as fierce as you want to be because that's going to translate to your life, right? So I feel like what we do on the court translates to the office and into our families. Like, because one day as a woman, right, we're going to have to negotiate a salary, and we're not going to be able to just hold back on that, right? Because we're women, we know what that feels like. So I want them to take the same passion into their workspace, into their homes, into their families, and do what they do best, right? Don't stifle your voice here on the court. Don't stifle your voice in real life. I want the young ladies to see that you could be fierce, you still could be a lady, you could still play ball, you still could be tough, tumble, all of those things. I want them to walk away feeling like ladies come in all different shapes, sizes, and attitudes, right? And walk in it, be confident in it.
All right, you might normally see her on the court. This is Analza Jordan, Tweet, as you probably know her, shooting guard. Hello.
How are you today?
So good. Okay, what made you come to the Chaos? What interested you in it?
Just hearing so much about how she loves like women empowerment and just wanting to give things back to the community, especially when it comes to younger females. So after getting invited out, I did my own research on the history of the team and just what her passion is about, and it kind of touched me and what I'm about as well. And I got invited to try out. I just seen it as a great opportunity, and I'm so grateful that I made the team and just proud to put on for my city.
What do you like about this team?
The energy is so loving. Everybody's just welcoming, and of course the wins. We're all pretty great. This is a really great family. I just came into this family not too long ago, but they embraced me with such great arms. It feels amazing,
and it's got to be fun.
It is definitely fun and great. It's a great time.
And seeing the fans and the little girls, we keep talking about these other girls who are looking at you as role models. What's that like?
It's great. When we were growing up, there wasn't too many, it was a lot of older guys that helped us get there. But now that we're older and we see younger girls more and more wanting to play basketball, it really warms my heart, and the fact that I'm able to be there and help them on that journey, it just means so much more.
Danny White is a shooting guard for the Chaos. What brought you to the Chaos?
Honestly, my coach, she found me in the midst of playing at this league at Barber Park, and I honestly didn't even know about the Chaos until she came up and she approached me asking if I'd play, and I was just like, okay, sure. So she asked me to come out for tryouts. I wasn't able to make it, unfortunately, due to being out of town. And then she reached out to me via social media asking if I was still interested. And when I got the message, I was like, yeah, I'm down.
Did you think you would have an opportunity to play professional basketball?
I honestly did not. I had offers to play in college, but I didn't take them due to, they just didn't have the major I wanted at the schools. So after that, I was just like, well, maybe it's over for me. And so when Coach found me, it was just like, wow, God's still working mysterious ways.
So what is it like to be on the court with these strong professional women who are at the top of their game?
I love it, every bit of it. I love the environment. I love being around women who are trying to better you while they're bettering themselves. I feel like that's what makes sports better. When you're around people who are passionate about what they're doing and then they're trying to push you to be a better version of yourself too. So,
what's your dream?
My dream, honestly, is just to be a successful black woman. Whether I'm doing something I love, whether I'm helping people, it's just to be successful all around.
And are you doing what you love right now?
Yes, I am. I love playing basketball. I model on the side, and I love both of them. So.
Want to find out more, try out for the team, or go to a game? Go to GreensboroChaos.com.
Dig this.
almost had them. You need to download the GSO Collects app. It allows you to set reminders regarding garbage, recycle, and yard waste, or that old chair in your garage.
Have a garage.
The app will also notify you if there are changes in your schedule, like holidays. Girl, this app will even send you a text, a tweet, or update your calendar. They even call my grandma's home phone.
All right.
Do yourself a favor, honey. Download the GSO Collects app, and you'll never miss another collection. Bye.
Hop on and hop off the free Hopper Trolley in downtown Greensboro. The free Hopper Trolley has arrivals every 7 minutes during service. The free service runs Thursday through Saturdays noon to midnight and Sundays noon to 10 p.m. Track your trolley live at trackmygta.com. On November 26, 2012, at approximately 4:30 p.m., officers with the Greensboro Police Department responded to 2330D Kersey Street in reference to a shooting. Upon arriving at the scene, officers located Greensboro native Jeremy Bailey, age 24, deceased inside the residence. Mr. Bailey was located by friends inside the residence and was suffering from a gunshot wound. Further investigation determined that a rear door to the residence was forced open to gain entrance. The apartment showed signs of being ransacked, and it is believed the suspects were targeting Mr. Bailey and/or his residence for a burglary or robbery. Mr. Bailey's death is being investigated as a homicide. Please contact Crime Stoppers if you have any additional information. On Tuesday, April 4th, 2023, around 6:55 p.m., officers responded to a shooting in the area of Bessemer Avenue and Circle Drive. Officers located Deja Reeves at 1037 Sullivan Street with a gunshot wound. Deja died from the injury, and her death is now being investigated as a homicide. This is currently all the information available to Crime Stoppers at this time. Please contact Crime Stoppers if you have any additional information. This case has been solved through collaboration between Crime Stoppers, Mothers Standing Against Gun Violence, and the Greensboro Police Department. Samuel Jacoby Ray, 21, of Greensboro, is charged with first-degree murder and robbery with a dangerous weapon in the case of 27-year-old Nathaniel Telford, which took place November 6, 2020. Ray is being held at the Guilford County Jail with no bond. The maximum payout from Crime Stoppers was awarded in this case. On June 4, 2017, at 1:21 a.m., officers responded to 1373 Lees Chapel Road in reference to an aggravated assault with a firearm. Upon arrival, officers located Katie Lynn Simmons, who was suffering from a gunshot wound. Ms. Simmons was transported to Moses Cone Hospital, where she later succumbed to her wound. Katie Lynn's death is being investigated as a homicide. Please contact Crime Stoppers if you have any additional information. This case has been solved with the help of tips to Crime Stoppers, which led to the location of the suspects before they fled town. Joshua LaPree Padgett is charged with first-degree murder, robbery with a dangerous weapon, conspiracy to commit robbery, and possession of a firearm by a felon. Justin Jones and Nicole Angelica Newby, both of Greensboro, are charged with first-degree murder, robbery with a dangerous weapon, and conspiracy to commit robbery. All three were charged in the case of Chavez Laquan Vargas and are being held in the Guilford County Jail without bail. The maximum payout from Crime Stoppers was awarded in this case. If you know the identity or have any information regarding these individuals, please call Crime Stoppers at 336-373-1000. Tips to Crime Stoppers are anonymous and confidential. Information leading to the arrest or indictment of the individuals responsible for the crime can result in a cash payment reward.
I am Tracy Dewsbury Tate with Halcon Companies, and I just want to welcome everyone here and thank you for being here on this rainy day. It's really a glorious day, even though it was raining. This project started during the pandemic in 2020, and we had a lot of obstacles to overcome to get to where we are now. It took a lot of people, and I'm so excited for you to meet a lot of our team members today. You will meet them shortly. I was so thankful that the City of Greensboro accommodated us during that time and had planning Zoom meetings and City Council Zoom meetings, so that's how we were able to get this approved during that time. I remember we had an environmental review that we had to have completed, and during that process they found that it was a historic farm, and so we had to hire an archaeologist to come and do a study for artifacts, and during that time she got COVID, and so that was delayed. So there was just story after story of that happening, but we're finally here today, so we're excited about that, and we're excited about everyone who worked hard with us along the way. And there are a lot of people who you'll meet shortly. As a developer, this is one of the best parts of my job, being able to open a community, welcome residents into the community, and recognize all of our team members, because everyone works extremely hard behind the scenes to make this happen. And you're getting ready to meet some of our team members. I'm going to introduce to you the first one, who I've had the pleasure of working with the past 4 years. Well, let me back up and tell you one thing. The Reverend was on the agenda to go next, but since he was gracious enough to speak earlier and bless our food, I'm moving on to Ryan Hamilton. And let me tell you a little bit about Ryan first. I've been working with him for 4 years. He's the Vice President of Hamilton Properties Corporation, and it's been in existence since 1968. They have over 3,500 properties, and they work in a lot of states: Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Nebraska, Colorado, Louisiana, Georgia, and I'm sure I'm leaving some of them out. This is our second development that we placed in service with Ryan, and we had a great experience working together. Ryan has expertise in real estate development from on the management side of things and construction side and development. So I'm lucky to be one of his partners. Ryan Hamilton.
Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that. I don't know about the expertise. We have a lot of good people, and I mean that. That surrounds us and guides us. A lot of hand-holding that's done to get us to where we are today. And I'd like to acknowledge a few of those individuals as well, too. I'm bad about remembering everyone, so if I forget, please I apologize right up front. Again, this literally takes an army of people to make this happen, and we all know this is such a great need, not only in North Carolina but across the country and in all of our states here. We need affordable housing, need more affordable housing. But I'd like to go ahead and thank a few individuals that are here today from the Trinity side. We have Mandy Passwaters and Carlos is with us today. They came down from Missouri. We're based out of Springfield, Missouri, so they came down from Missouri with us. They've worked very hard behind the scenes on this development. Also like to thank Tracy and her group, Central and Halcon Development. We have Tracy here, and Carmen, Haley, Connor, Suma, and a few others. So thank you again I mentioned the hand holding, and so I thank you again for all that that's being done. Ross Deckard, our architects. I noticed Wayne was here, and we have Wayne and Paula. I think Paula's, Angela, and James are here. So say thank you for being here. And then Bowman Engineering, I'm not sure, but we have Matt and Ross. They helped us with Bowman Engineering if they're in attendance today. Morgan Surveying, had E1 Environmental Company. I noticed Carrie's here today. Carrie Blanco. Carrie was our architect, was our attorney, and she helped us. Oh, there you are. I was just looking for you. Helped us maneuver through a lot of obstacles that tend to be in our way. In these kind of developments. So thank you, Carrie. So the general contractor, Craig Stone. Craig's standing back there with Winfield Construction. You all can see, as you pull in the curb appeal, this beautiful property. The residents are so fortunate to have this type of development, this well-built development for their home. And so, Craig, thank you and your team. Appreciate that. Partnership Property Management, they did such a fine job of, I think we're just about there in leasing all the units. And so, again, affordable housing, there's such a need that they worked very hard for it, but there's a lot of people that need to be placed in these units. So thank you all very much. So we can't leave out the banks, right? We need the finance. We need the money here to make this happen. And so North Carolina Finance Agency have several individuals here today that Scott Farmer and others that we've got to meet. I'm sorry. See, I do this. Will, yes, and Will. And so I apologize for that. Thank you all for your standing right beside us and helping us through this process and providing the credits that we in return syndicate with our syndicators. Merchant Capital, Brian Edmonds is here today, and so Brian, thank you for all your help and assistance that you've given to this development. We greatly appreciate it. You've been through every step of the way with us as well. They provided the construction and the perm equity. City of Greensboro. I know Anna's here today and have a few others from the city, so thank you for all your help. They provided assistance and money as well for this development. It really does. It takes an army, guys. I think everybody here knows that, but it takes everyone with a helping hand and giving to it. So I met a lot of nice people today that I have not that I got to meet for the first time, and everybody's so warm and welcoming. I appreciate that. So thank you all for your service and your help and everything you've done for this development. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan. Next, we have someone representing the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency, and Scott Farmer and his team are just great to work with. We're so lucky to have them and to have such a great board. Mark Isaacson has served on the board since 2018. He's a partner at Isaacson Sheridan Attorneys in Greensboro, and his law practice is assisting with real estate transactions, land use negotiation, involving both residential and commercial, so that's a great fit. We're glad to have Mark here today.
afternoon. If my daughters were here, they would tell me that this is a dad joke or a dad line, but since the Olympics are underway, I want to give this project a gold medal. So they would also groan. I'm really honored to serve on the board of the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. We're a self-supporting public agency that has a simple mission. We provide safe, affordable housing opportunities to enhance the quality of life of North Carolinians. And I'm happy to be here today with our agency's Executive Director, Scott Farmer. You raise your hand and say hello to Scott, along with several of our staff members. Our agency oversees the Federal Housing Credit Program that brings private investment that makes these developments possible. And I'm thrilled that the Housing Finance Agency is a partner in this development, and I'm really excited to see the impact it will have on this community. Now, to bring together a development like the Lofts at Elmsley Crossing takes a dedicated and talented group. And I want to congratulate the team led by Trinity Housing Development, along with all the partners that you've heard about that have helped bring to life these 84 homes for families here in Greensboro. These projects are exceedingly difficult to bring to fruition, especially in a high-cost, higher interest rate development or environment. All the work that our agency does is done through partnerships, and that's especially true here today. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all of our elected officials for their support. They're important partners in this development as well. So although their schedules didn't allow them to be here, please thank Representative Amos Quick, Senator Michael Garrett, and Congresswoman Kathy Manning, and of course our city council members that are here. We very much appreciate your support. Sharon, it's great to be in your district. High quality and affordable homes are the foundation of a strong community, and we're very proud to be a part of this major investment in the city of Greensboro. Look forward to seeing this project come to life. Thank you all.
Thank you. Next, we have someone who's a big partner in this. When I say big, I mean it was one-stop shop. They provided the construction, the permanent financing, and the equity. So they played a very big role in this. I want to introduce Brian Emmons from Merchant Capital. He holds his bachelor's degree in finance from Indiana University, and he's been involved in banking for over 40 years. So he has a lot of experience. Brian, thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks everybody for including me in this great celebration of the Lofts at Elmsley Crossing. I think Mark and I were thinking along the same lines about the Olympics. Have many of you been watching the first few days of the Olympics? The coverage, they do such a great job of drawing you into the personal side of all the athletes, and everything from background stories and everything they go through to try to get to the culmination of a great event. And we feel the joy of victory in the participants as the country's best when they achieve their desired results. So to me, today culminates the years of planning and hard work of the development team to realize the vision of delivering a great project like what you see behind me, and really for the city of Greensboro. The ribbon cutting ceremony is really the development team's gold medal. So Mark, you and I right on the whole gold medal thing. Merchants contributed to the project, providing, as Tracy mentioned, construction and permanent financing for the property. We also syndicated the equity that came in. So this is something we pride ourselves in doing. We've got a national-wide footprint across the country in doing this type of these type of projects. As a top affordable lender and equity syndicator, we are honored to play a role in the success of this project. As you know, since COVID, the last 4 years in this industry has been extremely challenging. Inflation, rising rates, supply chain challenges were significant headwinds. The timeline to get a project from an award to a successful closing event has been elongated. This team was extremely challenged along the way, but found avenues to get this project to completion. And once we were able to get to a closing event, they executed flawlessly. The construction of the project, the timeline, staying on budget, all of that was done very well. And so, I can't wait to, be a part of the next one that you guys do. Dedication and fortitude of affordable housing development teams and state housing agencies has been critical to the ongoing battle to address housing shortage that we have in the United States. So I'd like to express my sincere congratulations to Trinity Housing, Halcan Companies, the North Carolina Housing Agency, City of Greensboro, Winfield on the GC side, because most importantly, the existing and future tenants of the Lost at Elmsley Crossing. What a great story, success story, and place for those tenants to be part of. So welcome.
Next on the agenda, we had Mayor Nancy Vaughn, but something came up and she couldn't be here. So we have someone who I know is even personally more fabulous, or as fabulous, let's say, as fabulous. I have Councilwoman Sharon Hightower, and she serves this district where the community is located. She was elected to office in 2013, and she's on her 4th term. She represents this district, which is majority minority, with over 58,000 residents. Sharon has worked to improve affordable housing, to create job growth, to improve, to have safe communities, and she's responsible for the City of Greensboro receiving $1 million in tornado relief recovery funds for East Greensboro from the North Carolina General Assembly. Sharon chaired the East Greensboro Study Committee, which developed a plan and incentives to recruit businesses to East Greensboro. Currently, she serves as the GTA bus liaison and on various other communities, such as the treasurer of the local NAACP and the past president of the North Carolina Black Elected Municipal Officials. And I know when we went through this process, she was so helpful to us. She attended all the community meetings and tried to get other council members there and get us connected with the community. And so I really appreciate you, and thank you for being here. Sharon Hightower.
So good afternoon, everyone. After that, I don't have to say anything, so have a good day. But as Tracy has said, I am Sharon Hightower, and no, I'm not Nancy Vaughn. We have a little bit of difference in appearance, but I am the representative of District 1, the Greensboro City Council, which we are in, District 1, as Tracy has said, and I'm proud to be the representative of this district because we are growing. We are growing by leaps and bounds. It is an exciting time in the city of Greensboro, but particularly along this corridor. I want to really thank Pastor Fitzgerald for even being here with us today because he is one of our community partners as well. And having partners as you grow in your community is critically important. And our faith partners are very important. We can never do anything without them at the helm. And I will share with you that Pastor Fitzgerald's church, which is just around the corner, sits on sacred land, not just holy land, but sacred land. It was the home of the Negro League where they play. So there are some Negro League players buried on his church ground. And so get to know Pastor Fitzgerald and the New Goshen church community because they can be so integral in helping be a part of what is going on here. And Tracy, thank you. Me and her joined at the hip. She's right. She reached out. And you know, many times developments come and they say what they want to do, but they only want to go through the process very minimally. Tracy didn't do that. She heard everything I said about how important it is to involve community in the process, because these are neighbors. These are not just people in apartments, but they are neighbors. They may go to church here. They're going to go to the grocery store here. They're going to live in this community, and they should be a part. And she heard me when I said how important it was to make sure that's the way you make sure this development turns out. It's a beautiful place. Would you not agree? And so the City Council of Greensboro, that's one of our missions. To make sure that there's adequate, safe, and attainable housing for everyone. Because those who live here today are the homeowners of the future, that we want them to be able to buy and invest in this area. And so we at the city recognize what needs to happen. We have to be equitable and make sure that we are serving those who have been the least of these. And so that is part of our mission. Housing is really critical. And so I want to thank my city council members for us all coming together and agreeing on that. Because sometimes, as you know, 9 city council members, we don't agree on nothing. But on this, we do. And so even though the mayor could not be here today, she sends her, regards and appreciation for what you've done. But I also want to recognize my fellow council members who have come because they felt it was important enough to be a part of this process. And so we have at-large member Councilman Hugh Holston, who lives in the area, believe it or not. So, hey, Tracy, if you need something, he's just right over on the other side of it. We also have District 2 Representative Councilwoman Goldie, Dr. Goldie Wells. Councilwoman Thurm had to leave. She was here. She represents District 5. It is a busy day today. Even though it's raining, there's stuff going on all the time. She had to go. Assistant City Manager Trey Davis, he went with her. He was here. But I also want you to meet somebody who really has put 30 plus years into ensuring we have some of the best, safest, enjoyable communities here. And that is our interim city manager, Chris Wilson. Chris. And so without all of those at the table, we couldn't help you make this happen. And so I'm glad that we were able to do so. I really think this is a beautiful property. It's going to make a difference in the lives of many people. I certainly support that. I look forward to the other development that's going to come along and help our seniors, because we certainly want them to feel a part of this as well. So I'm excited to be here today. I know normally I would be between you and lunch, but because we ate first, I may be between you and a nap instead. But again, I'm excited to be here to celebrate the ribbon cutting of this property as I've watched it come up out the ground. And I know you're going to be a great neighbor in our community, so thank you very much.
Okay. Next up, we have someone who is integral to this success. I mean, they have leased up in record time. I think we have 5 units remaining to be leased up. We have Partnership Property Management, Jeffrey Holloman. He actually received his degree from University of North Carolina. I'm not going to hold that against him. And he's been working for Partnership Property Management since 2010. Several of his team members are here. We have the site manager, Kiara Ayers, Carrie Lovelace, the associate regional property manager, Travis Walters, director of property management, and Laura Kilmartin, who really helped a lot putting this event together, so I really want to thank her. Okay, thank you. And Jeff, could you please come up? Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, as everyone before me has said, it takes a lot of people to put something like this together, and just thank you to everybody involved. We're very fortunate and excited to be managing such a nice property and getting to work with such good organizations to find affordable housing and have a nice, safe place to stay. And as the management company, it's our job afterwards to keep it that way, and we look forward to doing that here. A special thanks to our on-site management team of Kiara Ayers and Moses Davenport on maintenance. These two have been out here working hard every day to get the apartments full, and then after they're full, Kiara hands it over to Moses and says, all right, now take care of them. Make sure everything's fixed. And Moses has done a great job with that. I'd also like to thank our regional manager, Carrie Lovelace, and our director of property management, Travis Walters, and also our associate director of leasing, Kim Stevens, along with the countless others at our organization who have helped work on this project. And lastly, certainly not least, we'd like to thank the residents. We've got a great group of residents here at the Lofts at Elmsley Crossing, and we're excited to continue working with each and every one of them going forward. You know, at this time, I would like to introduce you to one of those wonderful residents, and her name is Miss Dolores White. Miss White moved in June, and she was going to share a little with you about her story. Miss White?
Thank y'all for having me here. My name is Dolores, and I want to thank God for this development. I come from South Carolina about 9 months ago because I had a stroke, and it was hard on me, but my cousin Vanessa, she's not here, I don't think, but her father is here, Uncle Lee. And since I had the stroke, it's been hard for me to get around and to do things. Vanessa came and got me and brought me down here. And then when I came over here, I saw the housing and I said, oh no, I don't want to stay over here. It's too far from her. And then I came back again. I said, oh, you're looking kind of better. Then I went back, and then I came again. And then when I came this time, the young lady in the office told me to come back tomorrow. And I came back again that day. Then she said, come back again the next day. I said, what is it with coming back? And I came back the next day, and she told me, oh, Miss White, well, Butler used to be my maiden name. But she said, Miss White, I hate to tell you, but you have to fill out another paper. I said, oh yeah? You know why? Because if I have to fill out another one, I'm going to stay with you. And she said, no, Miss White, you said you going to do what? I said, I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to stay with you because I'm not going back home with all this stuff. Because I had my cousin to bring the truck over here, to bring my stuff over here. And then I just said, well, you know, I was good riddance, Vanessa. I don't have to stay with you no more, you know. And then I come over here, and then she going to tell me I have to, no, I'm going to go home with you. So anyway, after 3 hours, I got a place. I got a place, and I was living in the 1-bedroom, and it's so nice. Oh God. And you know, I get to walk around naked. Well, it was so nice. My apartment my kitchen is so wide and roomy. I love my kitchen. I love everything about it, but I love the kitchen because I like to cook too. but I can't cook that much because something wrong with my right hand and my right leg is where I had the stroke on. But you know, I do what it do. But I thank God for this development here, and I thank God for the people that works here. They are so nice. And every time I come in here, they always, Miss Dolores, you want me to help you? Miss Dolores, you want me to, you know, sometimes I look at them like, oh my God, why do they call my name so loud? But they're so friendly and they're so nice. And I thank God for this place. You know, I just thank God. I really thank God, you know, for everybody that's here. You know, we can make anything happen if we just work together, you know. And I thank God for all of you. Thank y'all for having me here at the Lost Cross. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ms. White. Now everyone sees why I do what I do. Even though it takes 3 to 4 years to build a development like this, it's well worth it when the residents move in and have a nice place to live. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I really appreciate that.
Great job. Thank you all for that.
Everyone has a different journey towards becoming a parent. Having policies in place that support all types of families are super important.
Employers who offer a family-friendly workplace attract and retain the best talent. They also have workers who are more productive and more satisfied in the workplace. My name is Lisa Finaldi. I am the Community Engagement Leader at the North Carolina Early Childhood Foundation. Family Forward NC Employer Certification is working directly with employers to look at benefits that they can offer that are good for them in the workplace as well as employees and ultimately the health and well-being of young children. This is an exciting project with Action Greensboro and the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce.
My name is Chad Oakley, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Chief Executive Officer here at Charles Harris Executive Search. We became a family-friendly certified employer to be more competitive in the marketplace when it comes to talent and to retaining our talent. Anytime you can increase an employee's flexibility in their life and also their opportunities to spend time with family members, it's good for business and it's also good for society. Our lactation room came about by just thoughtful listening. We had an employee who gave birth, left for maternity leave, and then came back and said, I want to be in the office, that's important to me, but I do have this challenge. And we said, let's create a solution for that.
I'm Ashley Wagner. I'm a vice president here at Charles Harris. When we started our family planning journey, we started with adoption. Adopting a child from another country can look very, very different. At first, we thought we were going to be abroad for 4 to 6 weeks. So I was planning my maternity leave policy. We found out a week before we were scheduled to travel abroad that we actually were going to have to be there for at least 3 months. It ended up being 5 months. We ended up welcoming our second child by birth abroad. So there are a lot of things that didn't look like our initial plan. Every time I had to come to Charles Harris with another ask, I was welcomed with like grace every single time for them saying like, hey, we will do whatever you need, right? Like we care about you, we care about your family, and we want this to be a good experience. I also don't think I'd be as successful coming back to work, having not had the time off that I did. I feel like my bond with my family, my bond with each of my girls has only been strengthened because of the fact that I was able to take that time away and then come back to work really prepared and knowing what I wanted. The best way to support an employee who is also a parent is by supporting them as a parent first.
My name is Melvin Skip Austin. I'm chairman of the Gifford County Board of Commissioners. We're proud that Gifford County is a family-forward certified organization, and we're hoping that all of the other businesses within our community will follow that.
I am Nancy Vaughn, and I am the mayor of the City of Greensboro.
It was really exciting that the City of Greensboro was recognized as the first large city certified family forward community.
We know that now child care is costing more than a college education. We're proud that we are addressing these problems in Gifford County, and that's what it's all about. As one Gifford County, all of us being on the same page, wanting to grow together in order to benefit each other.
To be a future-ready community is so important that it really defines what our values are and what we see in our future employees that will help us attract greater talent. Because not only do we want the city to be certified, but we want our community to be certified and really lead the way when it comes to recruitment and retention of employees.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Rogers of the Gifford County Sheriff's Office. I'd like to take this time out to talk with you a little bit about the fraudulent scams that are going on throughout the county, as well as the state, as well as our country.
This is Sergeant Zellis with the Gifford County Sheriff's Office. Please contact me back immediately. I do have important information that's been forwarded from my department. I require your immediate attention.
We here at the Gifford County Sheriff's Office would and will not call you and tell you that there is a subpoena for you or an order for arrest or a summons. And with that, we will not tell you that you have to pay any amount of currency. If you get a phone call from someone that is trying to tell you that they're law enforcement, or they say you have a warrant for your arrest, you must go and get some gift cards from your local retailer. And they're going to tell you to get those gift cards so that you can keep yourself out of the magistrate's office, or better yet, can prevent yourself from being locked up. So my goal as the Sheriff of Gifford County is to continue to bring public service announcements as well as teaching moments. If you don't know the number, don't answer the phone. If you're not sure about something, please do not hesitate to call your sheriff, Danny H. Rogers, at 336-641-3694. Thank you.
Greensboro, max your ride with Cross Max Purple. It's GTA's first crosstown transit route that offers a new direct connection between East and West Greensboro. Cross Max Purple has 15-minute frequencies, reducing your wait time, moving you to entertainment, employment, education, and more. Also, it's a one-seat ride, no changing buses. Best of all, Cross Max Purple is fare free for the first week. Get more information at ridegta.com. That's ridegta.com. Come max your ride with the new Cross Max Purple from GTA.
Hello, I'm Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn.
Hello, I'm Hot Point Mayor Cyril Jefferson, and together we're working to address gun safety in our communities.
More than 500 guns were stolen from homes or vehicles in Greensboro last year.
High Point recorded 75 stolen guns in 2023. As a result of these alarming numbers, we are promoting responsible gun ownership.
If you own a gun, keep it locked and unloaded. This can reduce the number of unnecessary injuries and deaths.
And if you know a gun owner, remind them to keep their firearms locked and unloaded.
Do your part to keep your firearms off the street by securely storing them, and encourage friends and family to do the same. Remember, secured guns save lives.
So the Downtown Greenway was conceived as a part of the master plan for Center City back in 2001. And the idea was to build a walking and biking path that would not only define our Center City, but would also kind of expand people's perceived footprints of that Center City. And we knew that greenways were one way to attract business and people into a community. So the idea of this greenway was to encourage private economic development to come to Greensboro, and in particular to downtown, And we also saw the Downtown Greenway as the central hub of the entire parks and trails and greenway system in this community. And of course, Greensboro has a very, very strong parks and recreation system. And this was a way to honor and celebrate that and expand that and bring that strong system into the urban area. Since about 2007, we have been actively designing and planning and constructing various sections of ultimately what will be this 4-mile loop. And while we were in that process, we wanted to provide the public with a lot of different opportunities to engage with the Downtown Greenway. So we do public meetings in which we invite the public to come and look at the plans as they're in progress, to give us feedback about that. And those are really impactful ways that the community can be a part of making this Greenway a success. We also have done some special events like our Run for the Greenway. That's an event that will be in its 8th annual year this coming October. And we really did that as a way, while we were under construction and under design, to give people a sense of what it ultimately will be like to run this loop around downtown Greensboro. So we have what's now a 4-mile run. We have a 1-mile kind of fun run with that. We have a big party with live entertainment and food and beer and lots of fun activities. And it's a great way for people to get to know a little bit more about the Downtown Greenway itself and build some excitement about actually being able to be on it when it's completed. We have some other activities we've done during the summer. We do free fitness classes at Moorhead Park. And we also have done an event for 2 years called Wheels on the Greenway. That was a wonderful event. We coordinate that event with the celebration of National Bike Month in May. And it's an event that's really focused on cycling. We pay a particular focus to kids and safety. This past year, we collaborated with the Warnersville Recreation Center in Warnersville, in which we had the community donate bicycles to kids in that neighborhood that didn't have them. And they were given the opportunity to get a new bike, pick up some safety tips about riding your bike in a safe way. They were all given free helmets to use, and then they rode from the Warnersville Recreation Center about a mile to the Downtown Greenway and the Moorhead Park area, where we had a big fun celebration. So we're trying to sort of sprinkle educational opportunities for the community, as well as just pure fun opportunities. The Downtown Greenway has a very large program of public art that is a part of our design process and build process for this project. One major component of that public art program on the Downtown Greenway is our 4 cornerstones. We have very significant large-scale works of public art that mark the 4 corners of that 4-mile loop. To date, we have built 3 of those 4 cornerstones. We plan to build the final one after we complete the work along the east side of the Downtown Greenway. And those themes of those cornerstones represent themes that have been important in Greensboro's history that have allowed us to become the community we are today. So the first one we built in the southwest corner is called, the theme was motion, and it was looking at the intersection of highways and railroads that came together that were responsible for some of Greensboro's early growth. We also looked at the forward movement of people's minds and the fact that we have 7 colleges and universities here, which is a little unusual for a community of our size. The piece that we commissioned that was built is called Gateway of the Open Book. And it's a wonderful piece that has a matrix-like structure that then has a series of smaller sculptures within it. The other theme that we did next in the northwest corner of the Downtown Greenway was called Tradition. And it was sort of looking up to the northwest to the Battle of Guilford Courthouse National Park, and thinking about the role that Greensboro played in the Revolutionary War with that Battle of Guilford Courthouse. We selected artist Harry's and Hayter Collaborative from Cambridge, Massachusetts to do that piece. And one of the really beautiful things that they discovered in their research in preparing a proposal for us for that site were letters that General Nathaniel Greene had written to George Washington when Nathaniel Greene was in battle here in Guilford County. So the artists actually took snippets of these letters. They used General Greene's actual handwriting, which back then was beautiful, gorgeous penmanship, and cut out in stainless steel the phrases from these letters that are embedded as the roof of this tent-like structure that emulates the tents that the men would have been in. So you can actually read the text from the letters. As the sun comes down through the roof of the structure, it casts a shadow on the ground, and you read the snippets of the letters. The third cornerstone, which is in the northeast corner of the downtown Greenway at the corner of Murrow and Lindsay, is called Woven Works Park. And the theme of that was innovation. The central major public art piece of that Woven Works Park is a piece called Revolution Cone, which is quite an expansive cone that you walk up to in a spiral. And in the center of it, there's a bench that turns. And so when you're inside that piece and you're sitting on the bench and you're turning, if you look up, you have this sense that you are like a spool of thread being spun. And then the rest of the site is has a series of other elements of play, again, inspired by the textile industry, designed to be elements of inclusive play, so suitable for children with physical handicaps. And we received a donation from a donor in memory of Henry Levinson here that wanted to sort of honor that idea of providing these elements of play that were inclusive to all children and people for that matter. And then the fourth cornerstone is down in the southeast corner. It'll be at the intersection of Murrow Boulevard and Gate City Boulevard. That theme of that piece is called Freedom. And of course, it's looking at the role that Greensboro played in the national civil rights movement with our local sit-in movement here. We also, in terms of public art, have a series of benches that are created by North Carolina artists. And those benches represent the neighborhoods in which the downtown Greenway is passing through. So what you see behind me here is a piece called Home Site, done by a Durham artist, Jeanette Brossart. And this piece reflects the Fisher Park neighborhood, which is just, we're right on the edge of Fisher Park here. And with all of our works of public art, we do a lot of community engagement to learn from the community what sort of ideas and visions would they like to express to the general public. We really like to be able to express the neighborhood's character and history and vision for itself through public art that the community can discover while it's traveling in and around the downtown Greenway. We have a website that is a great source of information, www.downtowngreenway.org, that I would encourage you to visit to learn more. We have a number of volunteer opportunities for the downtown Greenway, ranging from helping us in the office to volunteering for our Run for the Greenway to helping us at a public meeting. So if there's interest in that, you can contact our office for learning a little more about those opportunities.
Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Glow Party is coming back to the Coliseum this weekend, and we have a really special guest with us today. Somebody that you may recognize from your neighborhood or maybe from school because she's from our area. This is Rebecca Schnell, and she's one of the drivers. Hey, how are you?
I am so great. I'm so excited to be coming home, and it's a pleasure to talk to you.
It's so fun. Okay, so we're all curious. How did you get started? How did this happen? How did you go from little girl in Stoneville to monster truck driver?
Yeah, absolutely. So I met my husband almost 15 years ago. He was actually doing a display with our truck, Bigfoot, in Madison, North Carolina, and we just instantly had chemistry. Years later, I decided that I wanted to become a monster truck driver after going through nursing school. So now I have full-time monster truck drive and part-time nurse.
Okay, so you still have your day job.
I do, yeah.
What is that like? How do you juggle those two things?
Oh my gosh, it's quite a balance, to be honest with you, but I have an amazing supervisor at both positions that I take, and they are so understanding of both my love for driving monster trucks and my love for taking care of people.
Okay, so what is it like to drive a monster truck?
Oh, if you've ever been on a roller coaster and you wanted to be that person at the very bottom that controls it, but at the same time be strapped into it, that's what I say that driving a monster truck is like. You're in control and strapped in at the same time.
Is it science? Is it art? Is it athleticism? Is it all of that?
It is absolutely all of the above. I'm a very petite young lady. I'm one of the only female drivers on the team, and to be able to move around an 800 to 1,000 pound tire takes quite a bit of athleticism. There is a big science behind being able to maneuver the truck, especially on the different floor textures that we run over. And, just having education and knowledge in the background of how to maneuver a truck and what to work on when it breaks.
That's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, quite a bit more than what the normal person realizes.
What is it like to be one of the few female drivers?
It's quite an honor. Not only do I get to be a female driver, but I get to represent the OG of the company, the OG of monster trucks, Bigfoot. We've been in business for nearly 50 years. So a lot of responsibility comes behind representing that company, but as well as being able to be a role model and a positive influence to all of the young boys and girls throughout the nation.
So what can we expect to see this weekend?
Well, we have 3 shows to choose from. Kids tickets are still $10, so they'll be able to get a hold of those really simple. But we're bringing not just 1, but 7 monster trucks to the Coliseum, and one that's never been here before. Our newest addition to the fleet, Skelosaurus. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the crowd favorites. It's a 3D body. Not only that, but we have freestyle motocross, and I say those guys are so much wilder than a monster truck sometimes because they're the ones doing backflips in the air without a cage around them.
Yeah, that's some scary stuff, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is this a competition? Is it a show? Is it a little bit of both?
Yeah, it's actually a very much competition. We do 4 different events in the monster trucks, and we are competing for the Champions Cup at the end of it, and whoever wins the most events